He thought he was the law. HOA's self-appointed security guard strutted around with a fake badge and a gun he polished like it made him powerful. But one Tuesday evening, he made the biggest mistake of his life, pointing that gun at the wrong woman. To him, she was just a stranger. What he didn't know, she was an FBI tactical commander. The neighborhood was supposed to be quiet. Rows of manicured lawns, kids on bikes, the occasional barbecue smoke drifting through the cul-de-sac. But what most people noticed first wasn't the houses. It was Dennis. Dennis called himself HOA Security. No one had hired him. No one voted him in. He just showed up one day with a polo shirt embroidered with security officer, a shiny fake badge, and a radio clipped to his belt. He had no training, no license, but he carried himself like a sheriff in some Wild West movie. He patrolled the sidewalks like he owned them, writing notes about violations on a clipboard, lecturing teens about loitering, even pulling people aside for questioning. Everyone knew he was a joke, but here's the thing. Jokes stop being funny when they come with a gun. Dennis had one. He wore it openly, the holster polished until it gleamed. He touched it constantly like a nervous tick. People whispered about how unsafe it felt, but nobody wanted to be the one to confront him. That's how he got away with it. He thrived on the power. It happened on a Tuesday evening. The sun was dipping low, painting the sky orange. A black SUV pulled into a parking spot near the clubhouse. Out stepped a woman in her late 30s. Athletic build, calm posture. She wore running gear, earbuds in, a water bottle clipped to her waist. She looked like she belonged, because she did. Unit 14B, her name was on the HOA roster. She lived there for 6 months quietly, never once attending an HOA meeting. But Dennis didn't see that. He saw a black woman in his neighborhood. He saw suspicious activity where there was none. And he decided to make himself the hero of his own little story. He grabbed his radio, muttered something like, "Possible trespasser near clubhouse moving in," and squared his shoulders. "Excuse me," Dennis barked, his voice carrying across the lot. The woman pulled out her earbuds, eyebrows raised. "Yes?" Dennis puffed out his chest. "This is private property. Residents only. You don't belong here." Calmly she replied, "I do live here. 14B. He didn't blink. "I've never seen you before." "That's because I mind my business," she said. But Dennis wasn't backing down. "Show ID." She sighed, unzipping her small running pouch and pulling out a resident keycard. "Here." Dennis didn't even look closely. He waved it away. "Could be fake. People print these all the time." The woman tilted her head, her patience thinning. "Sir, I've lived here for 6 months. I don't need your permission to run." Dennis's hand twitched toward his holster. "Don't get smart with me. Last warning. Show ID or leave." Then he did it. The one move that changed everything. He unclipped his holster and drew the gun halfway out. Not pointed yet, but visible. His hands shook, but his mouth curled into a smirk. "Don't make me repeat myself." The air froze. The woman didn't scream, didn't panic, didn't even step back. She just looked at him with a calm that didn't match the situation at all. "Do you realize what you just did?" she asked. Dennis smirked. "Stopped a trespasser." "No," she said, her voice dropping lower, more controlled. "You just pulled a weapon on an FBI agent. Tactical commander." The smirk vanished. She reached into her waistband, not for a weapon, but for a badge holder. With one smooth motion, she flipped it open. The gold glint of federal credentials caught the fading sunlight. Dennis blinked. What?" She stepped forward. Her tone changed instantly. No longer casual, commanding, sharp, the kind of voice that made hardened men obey. "Drop it, now!" Dennis hesitated, sweat forming on his brow. But the authority in her tone broke him. The gun clattered to the pavement. Within minutes, sirens pierced the calm. Sheriff deputies arrived, lights flashing, neighbors peeking out from behind curtains. Dennis stood red-faced, muttering excuses. "It was a misunderstanding. She looked suspicious." The FBI commander gave her statement calmly, every word crisp. This man drew a firearm on a resident without cause. He claimed security authority without legal standing. I am pressing charges. The deputies cuffed him on the spot. You're under arrest for brandishing a firearm and impersonating an officer. The HOA president rushed out, flustered. This is just a miscommunication. Dennis was trying to protect the community. The commander didn't even look at her. Protecting the community doesn't mean pointing a weapon at residents. If this is who you trust with safety, then your community has a bigger problem than you think. Murmurs spread through the growing crowd of neighbors. Phones recorded. Some whispered, I knew he'd go too far. By the next morning, the video was everywhere. Multiple doorbell cameras had caught the moment Dennis drew his gun and the calm reveal of the FBI badge. The HOA scrambled to save face. They released a statement calling it an unfortunate misunderstanding. But the residents weren't buying it. Complaints poured in. Parents said their kids had been harassed by Dennis for riding bikes after dark. Couples admitted he'd followed them late at night, demanding ID. It wasn't just this one moment, it was a pattern, and now everyone had proof. Dennis was stripped of any role in the community immediately. The sheriff's office confirmed he'd face charges for brandishing a weapon and impersonating law enforcement. His gun license was revoked pending investigation. As for the FBI commander, she didn't ask for fame, but overnight she became a legend in the neighborhood. At the next HOA meeting, the room was tense. The commander showed up in plain clothes, calm as ever. Neighbors whispered as she entered. The HOA president fumbled through the agenda, avoiding eye contact. Finally, a resident raised their hand. So, what's the plan for security now? The commander leaned forward. You don't need fake cops. You need accountability. Real safety isn't about a man with a gun pretending to be in charge. It's about community. The room fell silent, and just like that, the meeting ended. No one argued, because they all knew the truth. Dennis had been a danger, not protection. After that night, the neighborhood changed. No more fake patrols. No more gun on the hip of a wannabe cop. Sometimes I'd see the commander jogging past again, earbuds in, calm as ever. People waved, kids smiled. The air felt lighter, safer. And every time I remembered the look on Dennis' face when his little fantasy world shattered in front of him. The lesson? Power doesn't come from a fake badge, a loud voice, or a gun. Real authority is quiet, calm, and earned. Sometimes all it takes to stop a bully is someone who refuses to flinch. Someone who knows exactly who they are.